Okay, let's start talking about our Limousin breed. A few changes here, nothing what we, as the committee, thought we needed to pay attention more to the head than what we have in the past. First off, except breed characteristics must physically exhibit breed characteristics of 50% purebred Limousin. Color should be solid black, red, light red or charcoal, yellow or blonde are all acceptable. As we look at these, as I alluded to on the head, they should have eyes should be deeper socket, prominent, brow, light pigment around the eyes in the red cattle and also in the muzzle. The ears tend to be smaller and the muzzle tends to be shorter, or things that you'll look at. Also, as we look at them, as far as muscle, the muzzle should be muscle Muscle conformation tends to be a little bit more expressive. As far as the legs and feet, they tend to have not to be heavy bone. The sheath tends to have a forward angle. Let's look at some of the cattle. As we look at this calf here, obviously this calf fits somewhere else for us. An obvious no. We look at it from the side. The calf's carrying a little bit more bone. The calf is really long and extended through that front end. What really gets this calf, he doesn't. His head. This calf does not have a wide pole. Calf's ears are small enough that they tend to be really high on this calf's head. The Limousin tend to have a lower to mid ear set. This one would. This would be a typical. This is kind of looking almost like a purebred living. Real typical Limousin. You see the white around its eyes, around the muzzle, ears are forward. Muscles is right on this, and the bone. Not heavy structure. These are smooth jointed. Very typical of the Limousin breed. Look at this calf. Very typical, atypical of the Limousin breed. This calf here, this one would give us trouble. If we look at this calf here, especially in his hip. His bone work, look at his hocks, he's kind of rough in his harsh in his hocks, he's not smooth. His hip is give us some concern. But where we probably separate this calf out, we would look at his head. Look at his head, he's got that prominent pole. And look at his ear set is good. And on a black calf, this is not the same head. If this calf had a head that looked like this calf would go with Limousin. Here's another good Limousin. Again, you look at the bone, you look at the muscle pattern, it's really typical neck and head is they talked about it in committee on this, on the horn. Those calves that you take and you really dehorn those and really put a point on these steers, these cosmetic dehorn, it's going to be a problem if the head really doesn't look like a maybe like this one does. This one, he's got that really short pole where they put a point on it, but you look at his eyes, he's really wide around his eyes, really wide around the muzzle, and you look at the rest of the steer, he's definitely maybe he passes, yes, even with that pole. But if you have a calf that already has a couple of stripes and has that dehorn, it could be a problem. Here's a calf that I think meets his He's a darker red calf. I think he gets to the line. Again, here's another calf. We see a problem. We do discriminate against stocking legs and brindle and roans, and of course the things that we discriminate against. So we that's going to raise a flag right there below its underline. His head and his neck and is enough to get him 50%, so he passes. Here's another calf that meets the qualifications of black calf. Here's a calf that you look at here, and that's it's going to be a problem. This calf right here, several things raised with suspicion. The underline here on this calf, you can start looking at his eyes and looking at his muzzle. There's not enough white pigmentation there on this red here. He's really smooth. The calf is just a little bit heavier bone. The calf, to me, kind of looked like a calf that belonged in another breed. It didn't show enough to be 50%. So, right group of classifiers you might get in, but to me personally, this calf would not get in.